Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.wordpress.com here, back again with another Ferrero Friday project, and this time I've made some Ferrero flowers, and this is using the framelits dies, these ones here, the floral framelits, and what you need is the two largest ones of these. They come in a set, and you'll see that you want two of the largest size there. It comes with another three, which are really useful, so you could do other shaped flowers with those two, and then there's a little tiny one the same as this shape. So you don't need any of these, and what you need is two of the largest and one of the smaller one. So obviously I've cut those already, and you don't need to see me using my big shot. So I'm going to do one in Very Vanilla again. So taking the smallest of the die cuts, you're going to put it on your scoreboard, and you're just going to line up between the first and second, and between the fifth and sixth, fourth and fifth even. Okay, so you just line up and you're going to score down, not too deeply. Obviously the Very Vanilla is a slightly thinner cardstock. You can score more deeply on the coloured cardstock. And what I've used is Blushing Bride ink on this one. So just repeat that, so turning it once through 90 degrees. So you end up with a piece of card that looks like this. So you've got a grid, score lines with a square in the middle. Now I'm going to do the sponging around the edge, and for this I'm using a silicone craft mat, and I'm just going to touch my ink pad to the mat. And then I'm going to use a blending tool. There are lots of different makes available. This one's one of the mini blending tools by Ranger. I just find it's better than the sponge daubers. You can't get as much of a blend with those. And then just gently come in and sponge around the edge. And if you haven't done sponging before, you just have to angle slightly. Don't come in too hard, particularly because you've got points on here, and it's quite easy to accidentally just curl that up. Okay, so once you've got the effect that you'd like, then you need to come in with your scissors, and hopefully you can see this on the dark background. I'm going to come in and cut on the score line once to the middle, and then just shape that petal slightly. Turn it once through 90 degrees and repeat. And again, turn it, and turn. Okay, so once you've cut those, you've got 4 flaps, and then you're going to come in and just gently shape. And just be careful as you do this not to tear the card, but just put gentle pressure underneath. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just taking the edge of my bone folder, and it's these ones that you have to be careful with, the actual flap ones. Okay, so once you've done that, you end up with something like this. Okay, so you've got 4 flaps, and you do exactly the same on the larger one, which I've done here. You see I've cut and shaped as well. And then what you're going to do now is turn it over, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of red tape here rather than, you could use fuse if you wanted to, but I just find the red tape for me works better. I get into less of a mess with it, although it is more difficult on videos because of course it never wants to, the backing never wants to come off. So you're just going to put 4 pieces of tape on the reverse along each of those cut lines that you made. And there you go. Joys of using red tape on video. There you go. And as you can see, it doesn't actually have to be perfect. And what you're going to do is take off the backing tape. And then those are actually going to fold in rather than on the outside. So it's a bit like making a box. So if you turn it this way, and just gently, you'll notice I haven't burnished, you don't need to burnish those. I'm just folding those in and not quite making a box. You'll see I'm just slightly offsetting it, and that way you get more of a flower shape in your final one. Okay, so once you've made that, you can then come round and bend a little bit more if you want, particularly those outer ones. Okay, so that's your basic, your central box, and obviously your Ferrero just sits without a bit of red tape in the centre there, and then you're going to repeat with the larger one. So again, come in with on the reverse with some red tape, and you're just going along the cut lines there. So they're just coming out with the fourth bit of tape, and these would make lovely table favours or table decorations for a birthday party. So your next one, just gently bend those up, and then again exactly the same. So take the red tape off, the liner off, and bend up. So just offsetting very slightly. By that I mean not folding up square. Okay. And by putting the tape on the bottom, it just allows it to hold but leaves these edges free. Okay, so again, just come in and curve those. Now what you're going to do now is put a piece of red tape or fast fuse on the bottom. Okay, and in this instance I find red tape is, to my mind, or wet glue is the only way to do it, because obviously trying to put fuse onto this, you can't get any pressure on it. So, and then you're going to pop that in at an angle, and it will fit if you gently push in. So there you go, and you'll see you're starting to get the real flower shape there. So those are your two, one small, one larger one. Now to make the final one, we're going to score it slightly differently. So you're now going to score it, if you bring in, and you're going to score it down through the middle on each side. So again, come down and just rotate it and score all the way through. So there you go, you've got that scored. Again, we're going to ink, so exactly the same as before. Bring in our blending pad. And on this one I'm coming down slightly further to the centre on this, and that's because we're going to be, more of the petal is kind of open, and so you're going to see slightly more of it. Now the cutting on this is not sort of precise, but all you're going to do is come down to the middle and trim each petal. Okay. And it only needs to be, you're just cutting off that kind of slightly sharper edge. And you could measure it if you wanted by putting the other box on, the central part, but it's probably about an inch, it's probably about sort of about 3 centimetres, down towards the middle. A cut. So having trimmed all of that, you're now left with the shaping to do. So again, going to come in and just curl those as you want. So you're left with that effect, okay? And then you're going to put this one on the top, and if you hold it, if you put it down with so you've got the vertical score line here, it's going to go on like so. But what I'm going to do is put a small strip of tape on the edge of the box and at the bottom, because what I'm going to do is just hold the petals up slightly. Because you could leave it flat, but it just didn't look attractive, and you'll see by just gluing it up slightly, those petals then stay in the middle to give that sort of a attractive shape. And again, just as you could put it all the way around if you wanted, but because you're only wanting just those, just to get all you want is for it to hold those central petals. So what I do is I still put a piece of tape across the bottom, because that'll hold it in place and make it easy for you to manipulate. So having put the tape in the middle, all I'm going to do is just gently pop that in place. I'm going to come around and take off the liner of the red tape. And then all I'm going to do is just gently fold up the two petals, overlapping slightly in the middle. And just gently ease those. And there you have your flower, ready to pop your Ferrero in. And there you have a Ferrero flower. I hope you've enjoyed it. I was really pleased with the effect, and I think they would look absolutely beautiful if you were doing a table decoration for somebody's birthday party or for a wedding favour, and you could easily just add a little tag in there if you wanted to, but I think they're just pretty as they are. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.